Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. We're going to be talking about the goalkeeper situation because there are reports coming out from the club that there could be some serious changes in that position. And then as well, we're going to be looking at Joan Laporta's words as he talked about, possible renewals. He gave it insight into a variety of different topics, and we're all going to be discussing it in today's video. But guys, as always, make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. Everything's posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. But guys, let's get started with the video. All right, guys, let's get started with the video and let's talk about the goalkeeping situation because right now reports that are coming out specifically from Akraf Ben Ayad, a reliable journalist, reporting that Barcelona, they are finally considering signing a new keeper. Now, this is all coming out of, Ter Stegen's poor performances throughout the season. You remember at the start of the season against Monaco. You remember the performance against Villarreal, against Valladolid, for example, where basically every single shot that they take upon Barcelona, they concede. Now, I want to give Ter Stegen a little bit credit for these past two games. He is coming from a very long injury, and you could say some of the goals that he conceded, it's very hard for a goalkeeper to save. But my rhetoric in regards to Ter Stegen is that he should have left the club many, many years ago. Now that I've said that, and going back to this report, I am screaming in joy. Finally, Barcelona, they're looking to sign a new goalkeeper. But this all depends on Szczęsny, whether he's going to be staying or leaving the club. If Szczęsny leaves the club, then Barcelona, they will be looking for a new goalkeeper. But if Szczęsny does not leave the club, then Barcelona, they will not be looking for a new goalkeeper. It's going to be simple as Ter Stegen number one, Szczęsny number two. That's going to be the situation. Iñaki Peña, we all know that he's going to be leaving. And right now, that is the mindset. If Szczęsny leaves, then Barcelona, they will be going out into the market to sign a goalkeeper. And the names that are being thrown out on the table is that of Leo Norman, who is playing right here. For Mallorca, who had a very good season. You remember, he had some fantastic performances against Barcelona and against Real Madrid. But the main number one is Joan García. And Joan García, if Espanyol, they do get relegated, if they do go to the second division, his release clause would be only 15 million euros. And after him being one of the best goalkeepers in La Liga, I think this is a fantastic buying opportunity for Barcelona. And in regards to should Barcelona be going out for a goalkeeper, I think so. You guys know my opinions on Ter Stegen. I think he's been a liability for Barcelona for so many years. And you see what a top goalkeeper can give you. You see Thibaut Courtois perform for Real Madrid. You see Alisson perform for Liverpool throughout the years. You've seen Sommer just recently against Inter Milan. You've seen Oblak at times bail out Atletico Madrid. And you see how much of an important a top goalkeeper is in these European competitions. And if Barcelona want to win the UCL, we're going to need a top keeper. And looking how Ter Stegen, he hasn't been on this peak for many years. He's been a liability for Barcelona. And on top of that, all these injuries coming off, I think this is a fantastic moment for Barcelona to say, hey, Joan García, let's go after him. If not, go after Little Norman. And if not, I throw you guys the option of Emiliano Martínez, who is leaving Aston Villa this season. He is on a free. I know that Barcelona right now, they are prioritizing Joan García, but if none of them convince you, then you have Emiliano right there, a World Cup winner. I'm going to be shameless. I'm going to say, hey, I would have loved to have Emiliano Martínez at Barcelona after what he did for my nation, but I would absolutely love to see him there. But I prioritize the younger goalkeepers. I prioritize the future. You want to have a goalkeeper for the long term. And I think Joan Garcia or Leonor would be good options. But this all depends on whether Szczęsny is going to be staying or not. And Joan Laporta, he basically confirms that transfers, they are going to be happening. Joan Laporta, he gave an interview, and he says, once the renewals are finalized, we will make some reinforcements. We need to strengthen some positions to be more competitive. He said there will be moves this summer in our squad. Our rivals will also strengthen because they have seen that our team right now is the best. He says, I know they are improving to work on every line. And so with Barcelona confirming that there are transfers, where should those transfers be? Now, we know that Barcelona, they are looking at goalkeepers, but now Barcelona's transfer policy has sort of shifted. Reports are coming out that are saying right now Barcelona's plan is to, number one, sign a left winger, and I think they should, but the priority to sign a fullback isn't really there. After Eric Garcia's performances playing at that right back and Gerard Martin necessarily, there isn't much of a need to sign a fullback. And if you're going to be taking those funds that are going to go after a fullback, you had Jeremy Frimpong, who has gone to Liverpool. Barcelona, they have not made any attempt, to seriously go after a Jeremy Frimpong. Then that gives me an indication that saying, hey, Barcelona not really going to go after for a fullback, and that's why I give this a little bit more credit in these reports that saying, hey, Barcelona, they are going to be looking for a goalkeeper seriously, but it's going to be depending on Szczęsny. And I've of the mindset that Szczęsny, you've had a fantastic year for Barcelona. You've come back from retirement. You won the domestic treble. Go out on the high. Go out into the sunset with those 3 trophies and just enjoy yourself, in retirement. Enjoy, smoking your cigars and just enjoying retirement with those 3 trophies added to your trophy cabinet. Because staying at Barcelona, it's going to be very, very hard to replicate what was last season. And so it could be on a downward spiral. But, I want to hear your guys' thoughts in regards to that goalkeeper position. What do you guys think is going to happen? Would you guys want Szczęsny to stay, have Ter Stegen the number 1? Or if you guys share, sort of a similar mindset that of myself and say, hey, let's go after either Joan Garcia, Roman, or even an outside factor, Emiliano Martínez. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. But Joan Laporta, he also talks about the renewals about certain players. He talks about Frenkie De Jong. He says, for a couple of months, some personal circumstances of his have occurred. We want him to stay. He is key to the project. The Frankie situation is urgent. We don't want players who only have 1 year left on their contract. He knows this, and we have talked about it. He is very motivated. We really like the Dutch school. With him, we control the game. Now, I will give credit to Frenkie De Jong because he's been much more impressive in these, I would say, latter half of the season rather than the start. Him coming back from injury was absolutely atrocious. And I will be fair and say that Frenkie De Jong, he's showing sort of a similar level to that of we expected when he first moved from Ajax. He is getting close to that level. Him alongside Pedri, it's been a fantastic partnership. Let's see how that partnership holds up next season when Marc Marcelo comes back from injury, but especially when Marc Bernal is introduced into that midfield. Let's see how Hansi Flick handles that, because a Marc Bernal and Pedri duo at the base, that is going to be very, very enticing for Hansi Flick. But, let's see how this whole Frenkie De Jong renewal is going to go. I have talked about before on the channel that Hansi Flick, Barcelona, and Frenkie De Jong, they all want a renewal. They want all parties to stay at Barcelona. They want that deal to be finalized. And Joan Laporta, he basically confirms it. He says, we want him to stay. Let's see what happens in regards to the contract renewals. Joan Laporta, he even talks about Lamine Yamal. We know that it's only going to be a matter of time. As soon as Lamine Yamal turns 18, that contract extension is going to be announced. He says, Lamine's situation has been discussed, but the signature is still missing. I can't say it's done if it's not done. However, the matter is being handled. We're thrilled with him. Deco is working on getting his signature. We have had great communication with Jorge Mendes. A player's salary should always match their importance to the team, regardless of age. Barça is the best team for Lamine Yamal. He is Catalan and a culé to the core. He is destined to be the best player in the world. And as Joan Laporta, he finalized right there, the best in the world, best place for Lamine Yamal. We want him here for many, many years. And so as soon as he turns 18, sign on the dotted line. Do everything possible to get Lamine Yamal to stay here at Barcelona for many, many more years. And I don't think it's going to be too much trouble, as Lamine Yamal has said before that he would want to end his career at Barcelona and be a Barca legend. But super, super exciting news. Joan Laporta, he talks about Mondrique as yesterday, against Villarreal, we basically played our last game in that stadium. As Barcelona, they're finalizing the renovations at the Camp Nou. It's most likely that for the start of next season, we're going to be back there. Absolutely fantastic. In the Montjuic, it's not really a fortress. It doesn't really give you that same atmosphere, that same vibe, that of the Camp Nou. And then it's completely understandable. The Camp Nou is something special. You feel it. You feel the sensation of playing there, and it makes it so difficult for the opposition to play there as well. Joan Laporta, he says that yesterday's match is most likely, and unless something unexpected happens, the last match at Montjuic. If all goes well, we'll do a test run at the Gamper on August 9th or 10th. And so Joan Laporta confirming that Barcelona, they are going to be heading back to the Camp Nou at the start of next season, debuting the new stadium in the Joan Gamper Trophy, which he says whether it's going to be August 9th or August 10th. I'm super, super excited to basically be back at the Camp Nou. And the last, important quote from Joan Laporta was in regards to Ansu Fati, because Ansu Fati, he spoke about him. He says, we want Ansu to play. He makes the relationships in the locker room very good. Everyone likes him. We will see if next year he gets minutes or if we need to find a better solution for him. Now, Ansu Fati, I think his Barcelona career is over. I think he had a very good cameo, necessarily against Mallorca, but in the games that follow, when he was introduced, he wasn't really able to impact. And even yesterday, in a meaningless game, Hansi Flick, he brought on Bart Verbruggen before bringing on Ansu Fati. And as much as we want Ansu Fati to succeed, I don't think it's going to be happening. And I think a exit for Ansu Fati is the best for all parties. Him leaving Barcelona, able to rejuvenate his career, feel like a footballer again, and Barcelona get those huge, huge wages off the book. I think it's going to be a win-win for everyone. But as with Frenkie De Jong, let's see what happens. But most likely, Ansu Fati leaving the club. But guys, that was it for the Barcelona news of the day. Definitely let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. What do you guys make of the whole goalkeeper situation? Barcelona are in pursuit, or finally looking for a potential new signing in the goalkeeper position after deeming the right back situation not as necessary with the emergence of Eric Garcia in that position. And as well, what do you guys make of the news in regards to Barcelona finalizing the deal for Lamine Yamal and Frankie De Jong? I want to hear your guys' thoughts all below. But guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.
Cuando me muera no quiero nada de tu vida.